Man, you already know what it is. Jay Williams, Let's Live Life, and we're back. Let me make this clear to you. Everybody in prison ain't your friend. Everybody in jail ain't your friend. Everybody in the streets ain't your friend. But if you're lucky in life, you're going to meet some people that you can actually say, hey, that's my friend. And then only time will tell if that's really your friend or just somebody you had around a little too long. In prison, you can meet a whole lot of I kept him around a little too long type guys, only to find out in the end they're not your friend. But then sometimes you meet somebody, you click with them, you really rock with them, that's your guy. You talk with this dude daily, y'all build a rapport. He knows about your life, you know about his life. Y'all become friends. And in an instant, this becomes this, and it becomes this. To where y'all went from being cool, y'all went from laughing, joking, doing all the things I just mentioned, and now you're at each other's throat. Now blows are being thrown. Now he's trying to hurt you, and in return, you're trying to defend yourself, so you're trying to hurt him. I've been there. And that's what today's story is. When joking around, playing goes a little too far, and now you and a guy that you thought was your friend, somebody you've been rocking with for a while, go from playing to full-fledged fist fighting. All behind something so stupid. So I tell you, don't play in prison. It's not a playground. Guys get turned up really, really quick. Everybody's real big on respect. And a place where the majority of these guys that came in had no type of morals, no type of respect. The majority, not all. Now everybody's, you going to respect me? Because, I mean, let's be honest. And there, all you've got is respect. If you ain't got respect, you ain't got nothing. If guys don't respect you, you have nothing. Because if you're not respected, all the rules we live by in here don't apply to you because nobody respects you, so they just do whatever. But yeah, getting to fighting with a friend, going from friends to enemies in mere seconds. You know how to seen it. You know how to lived it, so let's relive it. Now, I generally don't like doing fighting videos. And when I say doing fighting videos, yeah, I don't care about telling the stories and doing all that. But when it comes to me being involved in it, I don't like doing the videos. You get feedback. Oh, here we go again. Oh, I guess he won. He's never lost. I've had my ass handed to me. One of the worst fights I lost was to a guy that was probably 50 pounds lighter than me. Man, that boy kicked this. You ever been kicked? Who kicks? Boy jumped up and kicked the shit out of me. Anyways, I don't like doing these videos. The fact of the matter is, it happened. It's part of my history. It's something I went through. It's something a lot of guys go through. Not everybody's going to go to prison and get into a fight. They're not. A lot of guys just aren't the fight type. A lot of guys will back down from something real quick, try to de-escalate the situation, talk it down, and just, I don't know if you want to call it humble themselves. For some, it's humbling themselves. For a lot of them, it's just their way of getting out of a physical altercation. I've always been pretty open on the fact that I have a temper. When I say I have a temper, not towards people in my everyday life, but when it comes to other men, if somebody wants to poke their chest out or come at me in an aggressive manner, I'm going to become aggressive. And 9 times out of 10, it's actually going to escalate and go there. Because I'm not afraid of being hit. I'm not afraid of having to hit you. I'm not afraid what happens after whatever just happened happens. So I'm one of those guys that did fight. I did find myself in a bunch of messed up situations. And that's what today's story is. Now, if you're new to the channel, my longest bid was 10 years. In the early thousands, I got locked up on a robbery charge, malicious wounding. They gave me 40 years, suspended 30 years, with 10 to serve. Upon going into prison, I would say my first year, I ran wild. I was new. I was fresh out of the jail, into DOC, and there was just so much to get into for a young man. I'm in my early 20s and I just hit prison. Coming off of a whole entire street mentality. Been in the streets most of my life. The griminess that comes with being in the streets, that's prison. You take all the grimiest individuals that have been rounded about the streets, throw them in one place, and that's where you're headed. So that first year, I just ran wild. Into this, into that, getting into all types of stuff. The second year, I spent in the hole. The entire year, 362 days, 3 days shy of a year, I sat in the hole. The third year, I come out, and this would be where I met the character in today's story. I'm now 3 years into a 10-year sentence. I said, I can't keep doing it like this. I'm catching charge after charge after charge. I done caught a charge while I'm in prison. Now I got more time to do. I'm fresh coming out the hole. Something's got to change. So I go work in the kitchen. Now, as a kitchen worker, I worked the day shift. So I'd have to get up 3 o'clock. 3:30 in the morning, they'd open the housing unit door. And me and the other guys that worked in the kitchen, we had a little white DOC uniform on, kind of like you'd see a cookware. and we'd head over to the kitchen. Now, there's typically about 30 guys on the kitchen crew. You got guys that wash dishes. You got guys in the back at all times pushing trays, collecting trays, dumping trays, taking trash, serving food, cooking food. It takes a lot of guys to run a prison kitchen. And these guys are from all different buildings, different pods, different locations throughout the prison. And at one time, we all go there. When it's over with the evening, we all go back to our pods, right? But they got me working in the tray room one day. Usually I'm on the line, but something happened. Somebody had to be put there, so I got put in the tray room. So I'm collecting trays from the window. I'm tapping them in the trash. I'm handing them to the next guy. He's putting them on the thing, and then they push it through the cleaning machine. Well, the guy that's pushing them through the cleaning machine is a guy by the name of Snake. Introducing Snake. Now, Snake wasn't originally from Virginia. I don't remember where Snake came from or what his home state was, but I know that he had been living here. He got knocked off selling a whole bunch of guns, and that would be what sent him to state prison, because he got caught selling stolen firearms here within the state of Virginia, which is going to send you to prison. He also, after being caught here, sentenced to his state time, which was like 15 some years. He catches a federal case because they found out that he was in other states selling guns. So after he's done with his state time, he's got to go do his fed time. At the point that I meet him, he's been down about 9 years and doesn't have long until he transfers to the feds. All this I found out in the course of our friendship. So the first time I really talk to him, deal with him in any type of a sense, I'm working in this dish room. He gets to arguing with the dude that's handing him the crates that got the trays and the cups and the spoons on it, because this dude is taking his time. He's like, they're piling up. They're just piling up. You just bullshitting. You know it's fast back here. You got to work fast. If you can't do it, get up out of here. You're going to make me have to be here all evening because you're not passing me the trays. Now, Snake's not the biggest dude. This is a white dude that is probably about 5'10", 190, 185, but super athletic. I had seen him prior to this on the weight pile, lifting weights, but I'd never taken the time to talk to the dude. Then I realized in this altercation he has with this dude, he's very aggressive. Almost like roid rage. Like, God, why are you so angry? But he's angry at the fact this dude's not passing the trays, and the longer it takes to wash them, the longer it's going to take him before he can get back to his building. Not to mention, he's worked in the kitchen for a while, so when shit gets backed up, the kitchen supervisor's going to come back here and yell at him. Not me, not the other guy. She's going to yell at him. Now, the dude he screamed on is not a punk by no means. He's not somebody that I expected that was just going to take that and it would just die right there. I'm thinking to myself, I just screamed on this man, they're going to get to fighting. Dude humbles himself, or dude just didn't want smoke. One of the two. Dude said, look, my bad, you got it. I don't be working back here, but I got you. I'm going to speed up a little before I got you. Kind of makes it into a joking thing to where it de-escalates the situation. But at no point did Snake smile. At no point did he giggle. I agree with the dude. He just went back to doing what he was doing, like it is what it is. So I continue to pull the trays, tap them out, scoot them to the right for that dude that's taking his time. And I see this. He just has no hand-eye coordination. He can't figure out how to stack the trays. He's got them. It's taking him too long because it's confusing. Just put the trays on the tray. So I tell him, hey, man, take the window. I got it. Watch out, man, because I don't want to be in here no longer than I have to be either. The dish room's got to be done. Everybody back there's got to help. You can't walk off and leave the other two guys back there. You all work until it's done. I said, look, man, let me get it. I got it. You take the window. So I started loading the trays up, pass them off the Snake, pass them off the Snake, pass them off the Snake. We get done at a good time. When we're done, he goes, hey, man, good looking, right? I didn't do it for him. I did it so we could get up out of here. I did it for all of us. But him, he's a creature of habit. He's used to being done at a certain time every day and sitting around waiting for them to call back to the building. And we were able to do that. So he says, hey, good looking. Come back the following day, they put me back on the line serving trays. I'm putting slop on trays with a spoon. Put the slop on the tray with a spoon, right? So now I'm not back there around this dude. A couple more days ago, I'd say it's better part of a week, and we're out there eating our meal after we served all the pods. I'm sitting at a table, I'm eating, and he comes over and sits down. Now, it's a whole bunch of tables in here, so 30 people don't take up many tables in a prison chow hall. And that would be my real introduction. My name's Snake. What's your name? I give him my name. Where you from? I tell him where I'm from. I ask him where he's from, and we begin to chop it up. He says, hey, who you be working out with? Man, I see you work out with the one dude. I said, I work out with him sometimes. He's hit and miss, but I'm going to be out there regardless. He said, well, look, I ain't really gotten a workout partner because I don't get along with a lot of people. You trying to, next time you come out, we hit the bench together, we work out, we do something like that. Yeah, now it's hard to find a good workout partner. Somebody that's dedicated, that's going to be there every day, that can match your strength, that can lift what you're lifting and push you and you push them. And, neither one of us got to carry each other's weight. It's hard to find that. So I said, yeah, let me know when you're trying to link up. We'll go out with lift. There's not a whole lot to do. You ain't about to be playing the Xbox. You ain't about to be going anywhere out and doing any real activity. So the closest thing you got is either making some food with somebody or lifting some weights or walking the track. We're selecting when we can get the weight pick because we're at work. So if we're at work and they call yard, which is first thing in the morning, then again right after lunch, If you're at work, you can't go. So we know when our next day's off. But at this point, they got night rec. So that night I go out and I'm walking the track and I see him walking the track. Or to a point where we're about to pass each other. And I tell my homeboy, I'm going to go holler at dude, man. I'll be back. I'll kick it with you in a little bit. All right, I'm going to go spin the block and go talk to such and such. So I catch up with dude. I said, what's up with you, man? You don't talk much, do you? He said, man, I just kind of do my time. He said, been down 9 years, Jay. I done learned to just kind of stay to myself because shit can, it's just best if you stay to yourself. So that's when we get into a little more of the why we're locked up. If we're going to even continue conversation, move forward conversation, I need to know you're not a weirdo. And vice versa for him. He's been down 9 years. He needs to know I'm not a weirdo. So we get to talking. Yeah, what's your name? What's your name on the streets? Okay. Well, what's your real name? Taking offense to somebody asking you your real name could be a red flag instantly. Like, why are you so worried about, like, me trying to find out who you are? If we're going to be around each other, I need to know why you're locked up. So we spend the next hour or so just walking, talking about different places. I said, you ever been to Richmond? Yeah, I've been out there. You ever been through here? Just building a rapport. It's like meeting a complete stranger, taking a walk with them, and trying to just, pass some time. So we work out here and there, but we didn't really kick it. We didn't live in the same building. We didn't live in the same pod. So I didn't see him outside of working in the kitchen and occasionally here and there on the yard and every now and then on the weight pile. Well, prison's always into shaking things up. I've talked about this in the past. Other content creators have talked about this. You will have 86 men around you that you've been around for quite a while, and in a blink of an eye, they'll say, hey, we need this many beds to move these guys in here, these guys. Well, they move all the kitchen workers in here. They had done this 5 or 6 times. I've seen this happen while I was in that pod. And then over time, it would dwindle down to where they're all over the compound. And then they move them all back and uproot dudes. But they end up moving all these dudes out of our pod. At the time, I'm in cell 20. 21 becomes open. Snake comes in. I see him walk across the pod, and he's got his bags, his TV. It's been down a long time, so he's got a lot of stuff. And he's headed to the cell beside me. Now, when he came in, he had a cart he was pushing. He pushed the cart over to the side, took some of the bags, started talking. I said, let me grab your cart for you. I go over and grab his cart. I push to the cell, stand there and chop it up with him while he unloads his stuff. I said, look, get yourself right, man. Holler at me whenever you get settled in, and I'm right next door. All right, Jay, good looking, man. By now, I wouldn't say we're friends, but we've got a good rapport. You know what I mean? I would say I trust him a little more than I might trust a couple other guys. So now we've gone from just working in the kitchen together, lifting weights in there, walking the track, that he lives next door to me. So he'll come over, sit in my cell. We got these little benches. He'll sit in the cell, and sometimes we might parlay 30, 45 minutes just talking. TV on, music on, whatever. Just laughing, joking, just passing time. I do the same with him. I go over his cell, sit, chill, laugh, whatever, pass the time. Nighttime rolls around. Hey, look, I got the summer sauce, the cheese, the pickle. What you got? 5 soups or beans and rice, or chili beans, Fritos. Okay, we're good. We meal up as much as possible. We might be working chow hall and I say, hey, they got onions today and green peppers. You bring this back, I'm gonna bring this back, cook it up, actually whip something up nice at night, right? So I end up quitting the kitchen. I can't take it. This just ain't for me. So I quit the kitchen job. I don't want to be in there. I think it would be maybe a month and a half, 2 months after I quit that job that he gets to fighting with a dude in the kitchen. But they can't prove they got to fighting. They got a little walk-in freezer where they keep like produce and things like that. They go in there and they rumble. Dude's got some marks on him, but Snake ain't got no marks on him. He's like, I don't know what you were seeing coming out the freezer, and I wasn't seen fighting in the freezer. Dude says, nah, we didn't get to fighting. It ain't nothing like that. Everything's cool. So they sent him to the hole, but they fired him out of the kitchen. Now, in no way, shape, or form did Snake work out as much as I did. He couldn't. He's in that kitchen 6 days, sometimes 7 days a week, and I'm going to rec twice a day and at nighttime and lifting weights a minimum twice a day. Once he no longer had the kitchen job, I really got to see a lot more of who he actually was. Because there was no real break from him. He was around all day. And he became my guy real quick, man. I'd be lying if I said we didn't become friends, because we actually did become friends. Really good friends. Well, Snake was very competitive. It got to a point where now we're working out twice a day together. This is my workout partner. We had one other dude used to work out with us, right? So like I said, Snake is competitive. I would say we were probably homeboys at this point, probably about 10 months, maybe 11 months, the first time this happened. It rains outside one day, so we don't get no wreck. So we're going underneath the staircase, and we're doing pull-ups underneath the staircase. Push-ups, pull-ups, push-up. We get a good hour and a half workout underneath the staircase. When I'm done, I go to the cell. I wipe down. I'm going to take a shower in a little bit. I'll wash my face, wash my pits, take a whole bath in the sink real quick. He shows up in the doorway. It's a good workout. Feeling pumped. I said, yeah, that's what's up, man. So what we about to do now? He said, you know what, I'm going to have to see where you at, man. One day I'm going to have to see where you at. I said, what you mean see where I'm at? You know where I'm at. What you mean? Buddy, you'll get your checker broke. You better stay from over here, boy. Nah, one day I'm at to see where you at. I don't think you can mess with it. I said, man, go on. I know I have a temper. He knows I have a temper. I don't horseplay. I don't wrestle. I'm not doing none of that. Exclude me from the reindeer games. Like, I'm good. I have a temper. I don't play well with others, especially when shit just don't go my way. So he steps in the cell, right? What you going high, you going low? Which way you going? Which way you going? And he's joking. What he wants to do is wrestle. I don't play. Me playing shows these other guys out here that I play. It opens the door for them to want to play. I'm not here playing. And I tell him, go on, man. I don't play like that. Like, I don't do all that playing. You got people looking and I don't do all that playing. Hard body. Real competitive dude, right? I remember thinking on that a lot that night. Like, was he trying me? My cell's position where people can see what's going on. Like, was dude trying me? Does dude think he can whoop me? Like, what's going on here? So that kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. I thought to myself, I felt like I made myself very clear that I don't play like that, right? So I didn't feel the need to have to say anything after that. I made myself clear I don't play like that. As the weeks turn into months and months turn into, more and more time hanging around each other, he would do little things that I'd have to catch him on. Like, he was like, all right, man, we're going to pound each other up. And he pound me real hard to where I'm like, this bitch just punched my fist. Like, hey, tighten up. And we ain't over here trying to break knuckles. Like, and even touching. Don't touch me. I don't like when people touch me. Just don't touch me. You ain't my mom, you ain't my girl, you ain't my kid. Keep your hands off me. We'll be doing something. He'd be like, right? And he grabbed my shoulder, like, on some, right? Come on, man. I'm not with all the touching. Like, I thought you knew this about me. We're supposed to be friends. But what that is people just get comfortable. He knows I'll punch the next person in the face for doing that, but because we're friends, it just, you can do it here and there. And it shows other people, oh, he rocks with him like that. And then, as I've told y'all, it always ends bad. We come from one day, I haven't hit the shower, I haven't done nothing. I go to cell, I put some water in the cup. It's middle of summertime at this point. I'm talking blistering hot outside. And I go in the cell and I grab a wet rag and I wipe my face down. He's standing over. He goes, nah, we got to test it today. You getting too strong. At this point, I got the bench to 315. You getting too strong. I need to see where you at. Come on. And he comes in the cell. There was no real, hey, stop playing type thing. Like, he was already shooting low. If you know anything about wrestling, he was already shooting low. So I shot down. We end up wrestling. And I'm telling him, stop playing. But as I'm exerting myself, he's doing the same. So as I'm giving this shit the power I got, he's doing the same. To the point that we're starting to really lock up and tussle. He does this thing where he spins. I clip the side of his foot and I fall forward. Wham! And I hit my head on the edge of the wall. You ever hit your head so hard that you saw light, instant headache, migraine, kind of discombobulated to what's going on, and you could feel the pain all at the same time, and you could feel the swelling instantly? It was one of those type ordeals. I know he heard it. He had to have heard it. We were holding each other and locking and spinning and wrestling in this stupid ass cell like I didn't want to do. When I smacked my head in this one, I tell him, whoa, chill. So I let up a little bit thinking he's going to loosen his grip because I just grabbed my head and he tries to spin and slam. I take him, I spin him, and this time I kind of turn my hip and I toss him. When I do, he clips over the side of the stool, boom, falls up against the countertop, hits his shoulder. He leans up from the side of the counter, stands up, grabs his shoulder, cocks back. And it was one of those, not, I can't believe he swung, not, is he gonna swing? It was clear as day. He turned his body sideways. I'm standing in the door. The punch he threw was so wild, I didn't even move out the way of the punch. The punch just went by me in that direction. So all his momentum's going that way. I realized he just threw a punch. I come from the right, catch it. Boom! And he falls up against the wall. We lock up. We go to tussling. That countertop might have dinged him a little bit. The wall dinged me a little bit. I think both of us were disoriented. But when I caught him with that punch, that shit woke him up, because he went from not being as strong as he was a minute ago to stronger than he was when we was initially wrestling. Now it's no more playing. You swung on me, I punched you in the side of your face, we're locked up, we get to tussling. And we get to one of those things where we fall over to the side of the bed. Now the bed's got these two lockers in front of it, two stools mounted, and then there's a top bunk. We fall, we hit the side of the bed, and we end up on the floor, and we're rolling and tussling. And every time one of us can get an arm free, we just punch the other, grab and just short rabbit punches. We're in this bitch going at it. At the time, I got a dude named Will in the cell next to me. Will sees us in there fighting, doesn't want us to go to the hole, steps in and hits the button and steps back out. So now we're in the cell and we're on the ground. This is my homeboy, and we're fighting. We're in the middle of a full-fledged rumble, friend and friend, punching each other in the face, doing everything we can. I keep trying to get to my feet. He wants to stay on the ground. This dude was way better on the ground. He wants to stay on the ground. I'm trying to get to my feet so I can get back adjusted. Another dude in the pod that I rock with realizes what's going on and tells the lady, hey, man, open the door. Not to, like, draw attention that we're fighting. Hey, Can you pop cell 20? She pops the cell. He makes his way over there and comes in. Hey, man, what are y'all homeboys, man? What is y'all doing? Pulls us apart. We stand up. You know what Snake does? And spits at me. Now, I'm not going to say he got a lot of spit on me, but you ever had somebody spit in your direction to where maybe the mist hit you? Maybe just subconsciously you felt it because you know spit was in the air? He definitely spit on me. He would proclaim afterwards the spit didn't hit me. The spit hit me. So I reach over my homeboy and punch him in his face. Boom! My homeboy grabs me, pushes me out the cell. Hey, get Jay, get Jay, get Jay. Dude's trying to come out the cell. They come over there. They separate us. They get us apart, right? Now, we live side by side. There's literally 4 feet separating my cell door from his cell door. So my homeboy tells me, come on, let's walk, man. Come on, spend some laughs with me, I'm heated at this point. This fight lasted every bit of 2 minutes. And if you say 2 minutes ain't a long time to fight somebody in a prison cell, you ain't never been to fighting with nobody in a prison cell. You ain't never been to fighting with Snake. Dude was cock strong. He wasn't the biggest dude in the world, but he was strong as, when he said that shit was hard, he was hard body for real, but so was I. So I start walking with my homeboy around the pod. He's like, what happened? I'm like, man, that shit ain't about nothing. I'm all right. Like, showing in my face, she's like, you all right? Little bump here, little bump there. You all right, though? So my eyes ain't fucked up, nothing like that. Nah, you good, you good. What happened? I said, man, ain't nothing happening, man. We just he got the playing around. You know, I be telling him, stop playing all the time, and the shit got serious, and it is what it is. Dude walks up, he says, hey, look, man, Snake said he ain't gonna be walking around on thin ice around here. Is y'all good, or do y'all need to fight again? I said, that's on him. It really don't matter to me. Like, I told him from the gate to stop playing. He always wants to play. This is what happens when you play. This is why I don't play. But you tell him I said whatever he wants to do, we'll do it. If he wants things to be cool, we'll be cool. If he wants to fight again, I'm on my way. Now, y'all can't be doing all that, man. I ain't come out here to try to get things riled up. I'm thinking, like, he's trying to let things die down, but he's trying to make sure that you ain't on no, like, rah-rah shit. Both of us are still heated. This is within the first 5 minutes of the fight being over. I got this dude coming up asking me what I want to do. Of course, I'm going to respond with it's whatever. My adrenaline's still pumping. I can feel these little knots now. I can feel this damn Easter egg that's growing on my forehead. And I got my homeboy walking me going, oh, boy, that knot do look big. That's a big knot right there. Like, I done seen some nice knots. That's a nice knot. Ooh, boy. Shut up. I keep walking. My homeboy tells me, let it go, man. Y'all homeboys, man. Y'all are tripping. Let it. You ain't like you in here fighting somebody you should be fighting. You in here fighting with your homeboys. Man, that shit ain't my fault, man. I'm done with it. After that, things got weird. Things got strange. No more kick it. No more talking. If you walk by somebody and we were too close to each other, it might be like, oh, excuse me. You know what I mean? Equal, just that type of respect. But the working out together, that was done that day. This conversation, listening to music, the hard body, hey, you ever been here, you ever been there? All that went out the window that day. For probably the next year and a half, he lived in the cell next to me. We didn't communicate. We didn't talk. He was a stranger. This is how friends become enemies. He would eventually ship from, I think he shipped from Greensville to Lawrenceville. From Lawrenceville, he went off to do his sentence in the feds. Should I have maybe talked to him? Maybe. Should I have tried to bury the hatchet? Maybe. But you got to remember this. He was a very competitive dude that didn't listen when I told him I don't do all that horse playing. Don't do that. Patching things up with somebody like that, it's only going to be a matter of time before it happens again. Now I think I understand why a whole lot of dudes in here didn't rock with this dude, because he didn't know how to follow simple directions. Don't do this and we're cool. I used to tell him, I don't play like that. I don't play like that. It sends off the wrong message to other guys, man. If one of us gets hurt while playing, it's going to turn into a fight. Nah, we homeboys. Homeboys don't fight like that. Where I'm from, they do. I hope you got the message in today's story. Don't be playing. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to joke. Even then, you got to be careful how far you take it and what you joke about or what you laugh about, especially when being locked up. The last thing you should ever be doing is horse playing with somebody. Wrestling, slap boxing, doing any of that type of stuff always ends bad. 5 minutes prior to that fight, having a good old time. As good as you can have while being incarcerated. Let me rephrase that, a penitentiary good time. 5 minutes later, we're in my cell, locked up, fighting for dear life. And when I say for dear life, I told people this and I'll say this again. Every fight I've ever been in, I felt like I was fighting for my life. I've seen guys get knocked out, and after they get knocked out, brutal acts of violence be displayed towards the person that's knocked out. So I never wanted to be the guy that's on the ground just unconscious and not able to stop that boot, that barrage of 25 punches to just a person that's completely asleep. I never wanted to be that person. So every fight I've ever been in, I fought like my life depended on it. And maybe that's what brought me home in one piece. Or it could be what's caused a lot of my problems. It's become enemies. Going from being cool to trying to take each other's head off. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video just as much as I enjoyed making it and bringing it to you. And if you ain't hit that subscribe button, I ain't telling you to hit it, but it's there for a reason. They also now have a hype feature. Look into the hype feature. Make sure y'all hype these videos up. Hype me up. Hype me up. But anyways, these streets, these jails, these prisons, they're all just crazier worlds inside of an already crazy world we live in. And there's always, y'all know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to keep y'all entertained. Are you not entertained? And like always, this is Jay Williams. Let's live life. And to all my real ones. And there are some real ones watching. Because y'all are still watching me. Man, y'all know how we do. Salute. Hype me up.